Today I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz.
Hey.
Nigga, what's up? How gangster are you, cuz? I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me. I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me. I go hard, cuz.
Hey, you guys. Oh, my gosh. The internet. I don't know. It's like, I got to get more. I don't know if y'all use Eros in y'all's houses, but they're Wi-Fi extenders. But I think this house is so big, my initial Wi-Fi extenders, it is not extending. I even have the internet hardwired in here, but for some reason it still kept crashing. So I was like, you guys, can y'all see and hear me? It was not connecting. So I rebooted everything, the internet, the computer, just everything. So I'm here. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Give me just a second. I just want to make sure I have all my screens up. Okay, good. Y'all can see me. Okay, good. We got an excellent connection. No, that's right. So it has been a lot. I can't believe today is Thursday. It is almost the end of June. Like, it has been so much going on in my life. It's been busy. It's been crazy. I had people on Discord know this, but I have been having issues with my back teeth since last summer. So I went in, I look sexy in red. I'm the new Sexyy Red, okay? Not that rapper. No, just playing. But so last summer, I went in for a random cleaning. You know what I'm saying? Just clean my teeth. That's what the insurance pays for. You get 2 cleanings a year. So I go in to get my teeth cleaned, and he's all like, oh, your teeth are aging. I'm like, well, damn, everybody, per YouTube, people tell me I got a nice smile. What you talking about? He was like, well, you're getting older. We need to cap your teeth, like put a crown in the back of your teeth. So that way, when you're eating, it won't break. And I'm just like, what? So I'm just thinking, okay, whatever, child. It's like, as you get older, people just prey on your insecurities. It's just so much stuff. So I initially came in for a teeth cleaning. They said that I needed crowns in the back of my teeth. Okay, all right, Dennis, do your thing. So I get the crowns, and my teeth have not been right since. I have been dealing with so much teeth pain, sensitivity. They have readjusted my back teeth like literally 7 times. And so I have been trying to get in to see, because after a while, the dentist was like, well, there's nothing I can do. I can't do nothing. So you're going to go see an endodontist? So I'm like, okay, this is some BS. So they give me a referral. I hit up the people 2 months ago. Nothing. Oh, we'll call you in a few weeks when you can come in. So nothing. The only thing I can say is thank God none of this teeth issues happened, what was this, 2 weeks ago when I had my cousin's wedding. I had people in town because I wouldn't have had the strength to go. This was after my podcast with Emily. And, I don't eat a lot. I hadn't really eaten all day. So I said, let me go ahead and make me some noodles. Let me eat some comfort food while I'm editing the podcast. So I went to take a bite of my noodles, bitch. You know how like something it felt like somebody punched me in my jaw. I had to turn around like, hold up, who wants some smoke? Like, I was like, ah, it hurt so bad. Oh my God. I've never wanted to fight a package of ramen noodles. Like, it just felt like my tooth, like as soon as I ate the noodles, it was like, bam. I balled up my fist and stuff. I'm like, what in the world? So long story short, I had been dealing with tooth pain. My whole face swelled up that weekend. I could barely talk. I ended up getting dehydrated because I couldn't even drink lukewarm water. It was that bad. Like, I went to Walmart. I bought a whole bottle of Ambisol. I was damn near drinking it, like swishing my mouth with it, like with Q-tips, and just so I could get some water. It was that bad. So finally, I ended up calling this emergency dental line. And when I tell you God is good, I called them. And at first, I thought it was the original dentist people that I had, the original endodontists. And they're like, we don't even know who the hell you are. I'm going off like, I've been waiting 2 months. I'm in pain. My face is swollen. They're like, ma'am, who are you? And I give them my name like, yeah, we have no record of you here. And I'm like, are you not Dr. such and such? They're like, no. But they said, but you know what, though? Our endodontist, he comes in twice a month. And he will be here today, and he happens to have a spot open at 1:30. So when I tell you God is good, honey. So Monday, I had to go in and have an emergency root canal. So that is why it's now Thursday and I hadn't been able to drop any content because I really couldn't talk. My mouth was swollen. But honestly, the root canal was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The pain I was dealing with was a lot worse. So the root canal was a lot better. And then I had to go back in to the dentist to have them do the crown. So they said that the man did something. He done hit a nerve. So, child, all I went in was for a damn teeth cleaning. And I ended up with this whole situation. So that's why I've been, but my face, like this whole side was really swollen, but it's gone down. I can eat now. I've been able to drink water. So I feel a lot better. I just had to take some time off. So yeah, I was going through it, honey. This weekend was I was ready to fight. Every time I breathed or some air hit my tooth, I'm like, like just the worst when you can't eat and you can't drink and you just teeth pain is the worst. It felt like somebody was literally kicking the front of my brain. It was that bad. It was just like, anytime. So it's like I didn't even want to talk because I didn't want any air hitting my tooth. I'm just mad and frustrated. So yeah, thank God he didn't damage your nerves. So thank you guys so much. Thank y'all for y'all's patience, honey. I know it's a lot to talk about. I was ready to go in on the BET Awards on Monday and all that happened. So, but we're going to go in today, honey. Shit. Old news and now we about to hit this. So the BET Awards, child, it's gotten more and more ratchet as the years have gone on. The BET Awards used to be a really prestigious thing. Like, we're not going to say it's the Grammys, but for us Black folks, we love BET. Remember, that's the same stage that Beyonce performed on. Monique did her Big Girls performance, and that went viral. I loved it. Like, BET used to stand for something. And now it just looked like a ghetto-ass, family reunion. You got Boosie in there just wearing casual shorts, no suit to be heard of. Half the girls aren't really wearing anything. Everything is see-through and mesh. Anybody is now considered a celebrity. You can go viral for talking about your coochie pink and your booty hole brown. Now you're at the BET Awards. There's no vetting system anymore. It's just, oh, you're viral. Oh, you're just a random person that, went viral. We're just, all right, come on. We'll roll out the red carpet. I couldn't even finish watching. I think the only good thing that happened was the tribute where Offset and Quavo came together for Takeoff. I thought that was nice. But as far as everything else, BET needs to get it together. A lot of people, they were saying that Tyler Perry supposedly bought BET. Then it came out that was some type of lie. So I don't know. But people were like adding Tyler Perry, like, Tyler Perry, you need to fix this station up. You need to, revamp BET. It was just insane. So let's start with looking at some of the fashions, honey. I'll be here for my fashion commentary. So let's look at some of the fashions that folks wore on Black Hollywood's biggest night. All right. So we're gonna start here. We have Summer Walker and Little Meech. Just hilarious. I think her dress is cute. I just don't understand like the whole constant see-through. Like, we're seeing everybody's panties and nipples. I don't get it. But I think she looked really cute here. Let's see. Yeah, the fashion is not giving. Yeah, I don't like this. This looks like lingerie. It's not giving. Glorilla, I don't feel like that's her. I feel like they're trying to make her super girly, but that's not her. I think it's cute, but that's not her. She doesn't look comfortable. Her pose is just trashy. Next. I don't know I think that's Ari. I don't know what the hell she's wearing. I don't know who that is. I like the color though. The color is cute. Let me see. Y'all can write the names of some of these people because I don't even know who some of these people are. Yeah, I'm not feeling the mesh. Who's the other girl next to Ari? Queen? Oh, Queen Naja. Oh, okay. She looks different here. Okay, all right, Queen Naja. All right. Yeah, look at Boosie. He's just going to a regular barbecue. Like he's just about to go to somebody's house and eat. He didn't bring nothing, no side dish, no potato salad. He's just there to eat He's the type of person to just bring a bag of ice. Like, what is this? And then I don't know who this is with her see-through outfit. I don't know who that is behind her. This is just, it's just ratchet. It's not giving me anything. Who's this lovely couple with the mask and the mesh? Rich the kid? Oh. Okay. All right, Rich the kid. He looks a hot damn mess. I don't like this outfit. This is cute. I like this outfit. But I don't like this. I don't like this. Yeah. This is cute. I like the silver. Diamond and Scrappy making their debut. Let me spill a little bit of tea. Let me be messy a little bit, honey. And I love me some Diamond. I got should I not? I don't care. Now y'all know I was in ATL for my live event, right? So Diamond, I got an invite to come to her birthday party because she threw her party. And so we all went out there and Scrappy was there. I'm like, Scrappy, what you doing here? So anyways, we took pictures, but I was told not to post the picture. I got a picture with Scrap. I got a picture with Diamond, but I was told not to post the picture. But now that they're on red carpets together, can I post my picture now, Scrap? Can I post my picture, Diamond? Yeah. So yeah. It was a few people at the party that I seen. I'm not gonna mention no other names, but yeah, they was there. So they kept it cute. They were on opposite sides, but it was just funny because it's like me and Scrap was taking pictures, me and Diamonds were taking pictures, and then it was like the next day, don't post. So I was like, okay. And you know me, I'm a respect people's privacy, so I didn't post anything. I didn't speak on it. But hell, now y'all are showing up on the red carpet at BET. Mama D on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta talking my Diamond might be pregnant. All types of just mess. So I guess I'm free to post my pictures now. So I gotta look for them. But yeah, I just thought it was funny when I seen them at the BET Awards. I'm like, okay, all right. So y'all are, yeah, Diamond from Crime Mob. But she's a sweet girl though. Diamond is real cool. So we talked on the phone a few times, but we finally got to meet face to face. So yeah, she's really cool. It was fun. We had a good time. But yeah, Scrappy's cool too. I don't know what's going on with him and Bambi. I don't know. I've been watching Love and Hip Hop. I caught up to it. It's unfortunate, but I hope that he steps up because that's a lot of kids they got together. 3 kids, that's a lot. So you can't be running around here. It's one thing to be single, but still do what you have to do for your children, still be in your children's lives. So hopefully they can work it out and, just co-parent together and do what they need to do. But yeah, I think Diamond and Scrappy are definitely, a possible item. Okay, she looked like she's going to somebody's auntie's wake. But all right, JT. So these were the fashions at BT. So let's also look at some other things that happened that people were saying was just ghetto as hell at the BET Awards. Okay, I don't know what the hell was going on here with Suki. Again, this was the same woman crying 2 weeks ago. Let me see here. It was a lot of stuff that went on. Okay, so let's talk about this first. Make sure y'all can see that. Y'all see Suki and NLE on the thing? Because mine didn't change over. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Hold on. Okay, cool. Y'all can see it. Okay, so she says, Jeffrey Dahmer ain't got shit on the way I eat a black nigga out. This was the same girl that was crying last week and, upset. And, I did my commentary on it and, how I felt about it, the way that she unfortunately carries herself. And I thought that after the experience she had with YK Osiris, she'd come back a better person. Like, let me, try and revamp my image. Oh no, not Sukihana, honey. And the fact that she's even joking about Jeffrey Dahmer is very disturbing because there's nothing funny about that. Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer who mainly killed black men, gay black men, and because they were gay black men, they did not get the protection that they deserved from the police. So to make jokes about it, I think is sick. You know, if you want to eat ass, that's your own business, but don't compare yourself to a demonic serial killer. So I didn't like that. And then she went viral. Let's see here. Here's her and Lil Boosie. Go ahead and share this. So we're gonna watch them. This is at the BET Awards. They're asking about booty holes being brown. She's screaming that she'll eat a nigga ass. I mean, it's almost like they're not at an award show. Like, what is this? And I just don't understand the fascination right now with booty holes. It's just very strange. This is not new. Like, I don't understand, like, why is the booty hole talk the talk of the town? It's very strange. So this is at an award show. And I asked myself, would they be doing this at the Grammys? Y'all got liquor. Y'all are acting like y'all at a family barbecue. Would they be at the Grammys behaving in this way? And that's the thing. We cheapen our own award shows and then cry that they're not up to par. So I thought that was interesting. Now, let me go ahead. Now, Sexyy Red, hold on. Let me go ahead and refresh this. So she's another one. People were saying made the BET Awards ghetto. All right, so she was hollering about somebody passing gas.
So I'm pissed off right now. Some spanky booty ass bitch just walked past me and farted, and it smell like eggs. You nasty as fuck, bitch. Don't ever disrespect a queen. Don't walk past me and fart, bitch. Fuck you. So I'm pissed off right now. Some spanky booty ass bitch just walked past me and farted.
What is this? This is an award show. This is the same lady who is talking about her booty hole is brown. So maybe the person who walked past you wanted you to know that her booty hole was funky and she let one out. I don't know. It's like, what is this? Like, why is that the topic of conversation during the award show? And then she then went on to do a whole dance during the show. Let me find that. That was on Twitter. Here we go. Let me show y'all this tab here. All right. So this was her.
Turn up, Sexy.
Look at this pregnant one. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Then here come big old Krishan, big pregnant belly waddling over there to come twerk on Sexyy Red. It's just like the BET Awards has lost the little bit of prestige that it did have. It has completely lost it. Red is acting like she ain't never been nowhere. Maybe she ain't never been. I don't know how long this girl been rapping, but she's acting like she's never been anywhere. Like she just decided to put on her own concert. So if y'all not gonna let me on stage to perform, I'm gonna perform right here. I don't give a damn what y'all say. And then all you see is Krishan. I'm like, what in the ghetto strip club is going on here? You can't make this up. So now let me see. What else went down? Oh yeah, we gotta talk about this. Then you had JT putting hands on little Uzi Vert. At this point, I'm thinking little Uzi's in some type of abusive relationship because the way she be treating him is crazy. So let's go ahead and watch this. Give me just a second here. Okay, here we go. This is a different angle. This is Uzi next to Ice Spice. Okay, they're playing a bunch of music. So you can see Uzi trying to talk to her. Let me find the other. So this is another video here. And she like grabs him by the neck.
Hey, Uzi, best dressed couple at the BET Awards for sure. Without a doubt, Uzi. I just want to rock with you now.
Let me rewind that. Watch how she grabs him by the neck.
Hey, Uzi, best dressed couple at the BET Awards for sure. Without a doubt, Uzi.
It's just weird. So now let me find the other video of her going off on him. There's like a close-up of her and Uzi. Hold on, let me go towards the top here. Okay, I think this was the one. Let me unmute it. So you hear how she's like kind of talking him, calling him all types of bitch ass N-words. Now, again, I saw a lot of people defending her. I saw people who were more mad at Ice Spice than JT. It's like, okay, so even if Uzi took a picture with Ice Spice and Ice Spice decided to post it, how y'all more mad at Ice and saying that she's messy, she had no business taking a picture with Lil Uzi? Ice Spice got some of these girls out here pressed. She really does. Because I'm like, she not only cussed out Uzi, but then she threw a phone at him. She muffed him. And if the genders were reversed, if that was little Uzi putting hands on JT, it'd be a whole different story. There'd be all types of think pieces. You know, he'd be canceled and everything else. And I'm saying, like, you know, it was just a lot of excuses being made for her. And for me, I feel like disrespect is disrespect, you know, and toxic behavior is toxic behavior, regardless if it's being perpetuated by a female or male. Everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves, period. So I didn't like how they kept making excuses for her behavior because, you know, damn well, if that was Uzi who did that, there'd be no excuses made. And so now even Trick Daddy, he decided to speak out about the situation. We're gonna listen to what Trick got to say. You know, Trick love the kids. So here he goes. Put this up. Okay, here we go.
You with him, actually, I thought she represented. I heard some over there, some fuddy duddies and all that other shit was over there talking about what they gonna do to her, man. Y'all ain't gonna my homegirl, man. That's my homegirl, man. That's my homegirl. That's how my react. That's how they behave. That's how we raised them. What y'all expect out of it? She ain't do wrong. Now, if you seen my mama cut up, then you'll be like, oh, nah, that was a little absurd. But JT did what a typical Miami nigga would do to a Miami and definitely a nigga that ain't from Miami. If you ain't ready, if you can't handle, you ain't got thick skin, and by the way, they would throw anything at your up. The good part about it, they still together, they left together, be together. So who gives a fuck about what you can't keep a hoes got to say. And all you need to stay out of whole business. All y'all got something to say about JT. Oh, she was ratchet too ghetto. That's what you get when you fuck with a man. Actually, I thought she represented. I heard some.
Okay, that's enough from you, Trick. First of all, I get tired of like celebs every time they want to like disrespect people's opinion. Everybody's poor. You can't get no man. First of all, Trick, you need to remember that it's the same so-called poor people who come and patronize your restaurant. It's our same poor ass dollars that got you rich and, you know, popping and got you on Love and Hip Hop. So, you know, quit trying to shit on regular folks. And as soon as we say something that y'all don't agree with, we're poor. We're haters and all this goofy stuff. Because no, everybody who has something to say is not poor and destitute. They're saying real stuff. And that's sad that you're trying to say that that's a representation of all women from Miami, because I know plenty of women from Miami and they don't carry themselves like that. And that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable to go around putting hands on somebody because, like I said, he's basically justifying and saying, but if she's from Miami, that's how they get down. If you can't deal with the Miami female throwing stuff at you, putting hands on you, then you shouldn't be dating them. That's your advice? So what if she was dating your son and putting hands on your son? Would you be okay with that? That's not okay. And just because you're from Miami does not excuse it. So I don't agree with that. And it's sad that this is the mentality that so many people have, where we condone nonsense in the community. We're always condoning stuff. We're always making excuses for things. And then we wonder why everything is just in disarray. She basically publicly embarrassed that man, not once, but twice. And again, if that was done to her, we'd be having a whole different conversation. Those same Miami dudes would be wanting to put hands on him if he treated her like that. So, you know, it's sad. It's giving me insecure. If your man can't even take a picture with another rap female, it's giving me insecure. So, no, Trick needs to sit down somewhere. I don't understand that, like that whole mentality of this whole classism with a lot of these celebs. I remember when Trina was running around talking about people are beneath her and all this other stuff. No, people are not beneath you guys or are poor for having an opinion, you know? So that's too bad that was what he had to say about the situation. I don't think Uzi has addressed it. I haven't seen anything about Uzi addressing it. So now the last thing that took place at the BET Awards was Little Bow Wow, aka Big Bow Wow, aka Shad Moss. He had things to say about BET. He also had things to say about hip hop music in general. So we're going to go ahead and listen to what Bow Wow has to say here. All right.
This year for hip hop and anything. So how do you feel about that?
Putting out trash ass music.
No, not the trash music.
It's serious. Everything sounded like, everything repetitive, same tempo. It's roll out the bed. Everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. And I feel like now we getting, and the reason, and now we finally getting to a point where I feel like now it's about to shift back into the real. Like, you really got to have talent. You really got to go. I think people are starting to get tired of it now. That's why you don't see nothing charting. Everything sound the same. Every girl want to get a bag, get a rich, spin the block. I'm sliding on that. Everything is sound the same. Ain't nobody doing nothing different. So it's time to shake the game up and get it back to what it need to get back to. And that's just the real essence of artistry and real good music. Like, that's gonna last forever.
Is there anybody that
I don't know? I ain't heard nothing that I say I'm gonna hear this 30 years from now.
Wow.
Nothing.
There's nobody.
I mean, Drake, Kendrick, and I would say Cole. Other than that,
Right. Charted at all this year for hip hop and anything. So
This is embarrassing. Hip hop is not even charting anymore. It's gotten that bad and that low vibrational. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Little Bow Wow, aka Shad Moss, but guess what? That man has some classic hits from the time he was a shorty. You know, so you can play his music to this day and it will take you to a time and space. It makes you feel good. And that is the difference. Nobody 5 years from now is going to be, go ahead and play that song by that girl who was talking about her coochie pink and her booty hole brown. That is just some viral nonsense. That's not a classic. That's not a song that's going to bring you back to a time and space. That's a song that you're going to be like, turn that shit off. Y'all still playing this in 2025, 2026? I thought we left that in 2023. That's the type of song that is. And I think right now we have a lot of microwave music. It's just something to quickly trend, get a bag, you know, get a dance started on TikTok, but there's no feeling. There's none of that. Like he said, everything sounds the same. Half these people, it's to the point now, I don't even know half these people that be on the red carpet. I don't be knowing half these people that the shade room be talking about. Who? There's nothing memorable. People are just viral for a hot moment. There's nothing that sticks with you anymore. And I think the sad part is that a lot of like really talented artists, people who really put work into their craft, I think for a lot of them, they're frustrated. Because if we're frustrated as consumers, imagine if that's your passion. Stuff like that will make you want to lose your passion and not even do music. And I think this is why a lot of artists, real artists, have now just transitioned into acting and podcasting and other stuff. Because, why put all this time into actually putting work into a body of work that will last generations when it's not going to chart and somebody can just go viral for saying the most craziest stuff? It's just a bunch of ratchetness. And again, I'm not trying to knock artists like Sukihana or what's her, Sexyy Red, because at the end of the day, there's a place at the table for every type of music, right? Just like there's a place at the table for drill music and that murder, kill nonsense. So there's a place at the table for their type of music as well. But that type of music used to be an oddity. Just like, drill rap, that was an oddity. Nobody looked to them for anything other than, okay, it's just something, to play in the club or just something ratchet to dance to. But now that type of music is becoming mainstream. And I think that's the issue, is that the most low vibrational stuff has now become mainstream instead of it just being a one-off. Like back in our day, we had, what were they called? One-hit wonders. We had all types of one-hit wonders in the 90s. And they were good songs, for a time and space, but they weren't taken seriously. They were one-hit wonders. When they come on, you still get a nostalgia factor, but it was never that deep. Now we got one-hit wonders and we're trying to turn them into like pop icons and, mainstream rappers. No, certain people are just meant to be one-hit wonders and go on about their business. Get your bag and move on. But now we're taking these one-hit wonders and these viral TikTok songs and we're trying to make them into artists. And there's no artist development. There's no way 10 years ago she could be in the aisle like that, performing and carrying on and taking attention away from the stage. She would have been escorted out 10 years ago. But it's like, at this point, anything goes. And that's why I be feeling Nicki when she gets upset. When she's like, it's just like, where's the real lyricism? Where's the real work being put in? Where's the music that takes you to a time and space? I'm not getting that from these girls. And again, Ice Spice, I'm not a big Ice Spice fan. I like her as a person. She seems cool, laid back, but her music is not memorable to me. I don't get the same vibe when I listen to an Ice Spice song. First of all, a lot of her music is very short, 1 minute to 2 minutes. Just very short, just quick. Whereas like, I can put in a Nicki album and every song bang from start to finish. I remember the lyrics, itty bitty piggy. Like when that went viral, when that, really pushed her to the mainstream, that is a song that forever, like as soon as you hear it, we're going in. I don't get that from Munch. You thought I was only in? Then I don't get that. It's a cute song, but I don't think that's a song it's not a song that I'm like, I need to memorize these lyrics. Whereas like when Nicki would drop something, I'm writing it down because that's how I memorize stuff. Writing it down helps me memorize stuff easier. I'm writing it down. I'm reciting it. I'm going back. I have not done that in years with any of these rap girls. The music is not what it used to be. It's just not. Somebody said Trinidad James. Exactly. He was a one-hit wonder. But they try to make him into like this whole rapper and he couldn't hang. He's like, I only been rapping 6 months. I didn't expect this, all gold everything song to go as popular as it went. So I think like there's just not a lot of like, I'm not saying there's not talent because the talent is there. One of the young women who won was Coco Jones. I didn't know a lot about her because I'm not, I'm too old for Disney. But the young kids, they're not kids, but to me they're kids because they're about my kids' age. So I was talking to the youngins on Telegraph, and I was like, well, who's Coco Jones? Tell me more about it. And they were saying they have been watching her since the Disney days, and she's been putting in work. And so they sent me links to her album. And when I tell you, oh my, I was out here cooking vegan tacos, letting her album play. I didn't have to skip not one song. I said, damn, where's she been all my life? So you have the good artists out here, but they don't get pushed. The people who go viral are the Krishans and the, you know, the Sexyy Reds. Because like I said, unless you followed this young girl, because I'm older, so I don't know all these Disney stars. Unless you followed her career, you wouldn't really know. So I'm always happy when young people put me up on stuff. But yeah, her album was fire. I cooked the whole meal. I said, okay. Didn't have to skip anything. It wasn't a bunch of just vulgarity and, you know, eat me out, do this. It was just real music. It gave me like a 90s feel. So, I mean, we got to. I mean, right now you got Afro beats and a lot of even Caribbean artists now beating American hip hop because people are tired of just the same old, same old. Everybody's getting a bag. Everybody's fucking, you know, for a trip. It's about being a hot girl, jacking and scamming, selling drugs. Like I said, all that music was always around when we were kids, but it was an oddity. That wasn't the main type of music being pushed. Yeah, we had F the Police, but guess what? We also had Digital Planets. Cool like that. Dun, 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 dun. Like we had so many choices, and none of that is here. All we have is just ratchet, ratchet, ratchet. There's nothing that really speaks to your soul anymore. But again, those artists are out there, but they're not getting mainstream push. And that's the sad part. So, you know, unfortunately, you have to look for a lot of these artists to get like the good music. So I don't want to say that these artists aren't there and, you know, there's no talented people, because there is talented people. They just don't get the attention that they deserve. But like people like Coco Jones, because she won an award. So I was like, oh, wow, you know, tell me more about her. And I was like, okay, let me check her out. And I'm very impressed. Very impressed. Beautiful vocals, very talented, you know? So again, that's the same thing with the Bailey sisters. Those girls are so talented. They write, they produce, they sing, beautiful voices. But they did not start getting attention until Chloe had to be more overtly sexual. And it's sad because their talent is there. They shouldn't have to do a bunch of extra stuff, but they're having to compete with the people who are constantly viral, which are the Sukis and the, you know, Sexyy Reds and the Krishans. So it's like, hey, I'm here too. And the only way y'all can pay attention to me is if I'm half naked and over the top. And that's sad that it's like that. Like I told y'all years ago, you can't tell the difference anymore between R&B singers and female rappers. They give you the same aesthetic. Mary J. Blige never dressed like Little Kim or Foxy Brown. Lauryn Hill never dressed like Little Kim or Foxy Brown. You knew who the female rappers were. You knew who the R&B people were. And now there's no difference. And I get it, because a lot of the R&B girls now have to be overtly sexual to keep up with a lot of the rap girls and the way that the industry is going. So I think the BET situation was definitely a big disappointment. And I want to see BET win, right? Because it's Black entertainment television. You know, it's been around and it was such a good channel growing up. We went there for BET News, Teen Summit. So don't be confused and think that BET is just them playing Baby Boy all day and Boys in the Hood and, you know, rap videos. No, back in the day was a full fledgling network. Teen Summit on Saturdays, where they talked about issues in the Black community, things going on with teens all around the country. We had 106 in Park. I mean, we had a lot of really, really good shows, and I wish it could get back to that. You had Donnie Simpson. It was so many people. So many like good hosts and stuff of these different BET shows, and I wish we'd get back to that. I really do. So, child, we'll keep praying for BET, honey, because that BET show was a hot mess. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats here. Shout out to all 8,000 people in the house. Thank y'all for joining me. Let's see here. We got a lot of new members. Thank y'all for joining the membership. Let's see here. Yazel, I hope I said that right. She says, T, I'm super happy you're live. Been looking forward to this. Thank you so much. Jerome, I like how you spell your name. That's interesting. I've never seen it spelled like that. Says, have you heard about the Colleen Ballinger situation? I haven't looked into that. Let me Google real quick. Okay, that's that. Okay, she's the white YouTuber. They were saying she was grooming people. I did see some of the people who were talking about her. I saw some of those videos pop up, but I haven't done anything on it. I never heard of this woman until she went viral for these grooming allegations. So I don't want to speak on it until I know more information. But yeah, I've been seeing people talk about it. So thank you. Eric sent $5, says, did you hear about affirmative action? What are your opinions? I did hear about that. I'll talk about that near the end. Remind me, because I do have a clip. We posted it on Instagram. So thank you for the super chat. Kayana sent 20, says, hey T, Watagwan, big up yourself. Oh, y'all hear that Jamaican accent? Sister, and keep up the good work. Thank you so much, sis. Appreciate you. All the way from the island of Jamaica. Thank you. TJ says, put a ribbon on it. Someone acting brand new. We're not going to forget how the Petties did Jennifer. Well, I don't think we need to forget it. That still doesn't negate that I like Nicki Minaj's songs, you know. We're not going to forget how they did her, but what does that have to do with me saying that Nicki has classic songs? Like, even the rap girls who don't like Nicki have to give her props that her music is banging and that she had classic songs. I'm not going to take that from her because of her weird ass husband. Jenny sent $1.99, says, LOL, remember Rick James at the BT Awards? I do. I'm Rick James, bitch. Yeah, I do remember that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Young Kobe says, this wasn't the BET Awards, this was the EBT Awards. It definitely felt like that, Kobe. It did. Let's see here. Lelouch sent $9.99, says, T, please go to another dentist and get a second opinion. I had a similar issue. They said I needed a crown. I went and got a second and my x-rays were fine. They said the previous dentist misdiagnosed. Yeah, a lot of these dentists, unfortunately, I'm seeing now, I think a lot of them are doing little shady things to your teeth to get a bag. You know, because like I said, I came in for a cleaning and it just ended up being a whole year worth of nonsense. You know, all the money I've spent going back and forth to the dentist is insane. So I really feel like he did something to my tooth on purpose. But, you know, what can I do? I'm just grateful that I found a good endodontist who fixed it and now my teeth are better. So thank you, Lord. Willie Fordham says, can you start doing love and hip hop reviews again? We miss you. I might. Because I am watching it. I am watching this season. So I might do some. That'd be fun. I do miss doing those reviews. So thank you. I'm going to think about it. It's just I have so many things going on, unfortunately. But I will try. Madiba sent $350 in ZAR money. So I know you're in South Africa. She says, on behalf of all of Africa, we love you, Auntie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know it's really late in South Africa, so I appreciate y'all being up watching me. LB Upshaw says the Supreme Court just eliminated affirmative action. Yep. We're going to talk about that, so make sure y'all remind me, because y'all know I will jump off of here and forget. Internet Princess says, hey, T, love you lots. Just seen a gif of you on the Shade Room's most recent post. Oh, that's funny. I always laugh when people pull up like my gifts, like on their iPhone or on their Android, and like, look, you're a whole gift. So shout out to like my tea sippers who make them and put them on there. I appreciate y'all. Trevor Taylor says this was the Source Awards on steroids. I remember the Source Awards. If y'all don't want the executive producer being all up in the video, all up on the records, dancing, come to death row. That lives in my head rent free forever. The Source Awards were crazy. Somebody said they should bring that back. No, leave that in 1995. We don't need the Source Awards. Do they even still got a magazine? I know they got an online publication. Sir Smile says, very, very true, T. Hell, remember Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back? That song was kind of a one-hit wonder. Yeah, that was. And You know, and that was a good classic song. But yes, it was definitely a one-hit wonder. Even though I had his whole album, I had the tape back then in like 6th grade. I enjoyed his tape though. He had some good songs. Sir Mix-a-Lot. He was on them big old booty cheeks. DJing. Oh my gosh, that video was a trip. You couldn't do that nowadays. They be crying misogyny and all types of stuff. But back in the 90s, they didn't care. Let's see here. Muffin sent $9.99, says, hey T, me and my bestie were just talking about how Facebook started paying creators and it became a competition of who can go viral saying the most vulgar, insensitive, low vibrational nonsense. Oh yeah. When there's a check to be, had, then all of a sudden, you're going to have people jumping on it. But they've since canceled it though. So Facebook, who also owns Instagram, they're no longer paying creators. So that was the unfortunate part. Erica Wright says, but Nicki hopped on Pound Town though. Yeah, and it was still trash. I don't think she should have hopped on there. I think at this point, her and Cardi are like competing to get with like all the up and coming rap girls. I heard the Pound Town remix with Nicki. It was trash. I didn't like it. I don't think Nicki needed to bless that track. I don't like this. I didn't like the original. So Nicki did nothing for the remix. Did the remix even chart? I haven't heard anybody talk about the Pound Town remix. And I only knew about it because I was creeping on that girl, the Sexyy Red girl's page, and she kept promoting it. So I said, well, let me go ahead and listen to it. I was not impressed. Nicki has way better music than the Pound Town remix. Now, I like that Ruby the Red Skis, whatever it's called. I like that song. I like that. DH sent $10, says, T, what do you put in your vegan tacos? I'm going to start making some little lifestyle videos. I make little mini vegan tacos. I use like vegan meat, but I'm going to start when I'm trying to get my little lifestyle channel together, and I'm going to show y'all how I cook and do little stuff. Now that I'm in my house, we're still unpacking and getting things together. But yeah, I will show y'all that. What's the other one I be making? Everybody wants the recipe for my vegan Subway sandwiches. Oh my gosh, they're fire. Got me wanting one right now. So I'll show y'all how to make that too. Very healthy, full of vegetables, really good. So I really want to start doing that. So thank you for the super chat. Nova Star sent $2, says, T, I just want to say keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Kate the Great sent $5, says, I hope the day is treating you well. I love your outfit. Sending some peace and love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Atik, the Living God, sent $5, says, our generation has been saying this for years, that vocal music is getting out of control. Hopefully this does not fall on deaf ears. Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much. I agree. The music has to get better. We can only talk about the same thing for so long, Goth Boy, hey Goth Boy. He says, interesting how the Black community's music pushes robbing, stealing, gangbanging, sex, drugs, literally everything negative. I don't see that with others. Exactly. And then we wonder why the violence in the community is in such an uptick. Why a lot of these young men are running around here like just heathens. And these young girls are so overtly sexual and they're leading with their sexuality instead of their brain. And the sad part is a lot of these girls that promote this stuff like Suki, from what I found out, I was having a conversation with different people and they're saying that she went to college. She's educated. She's not dumb in the least. So the fact that she has to play this persona is just really weird to me because she's really not like that, but again, everybody's trying to get a bag, unfortunately. And that's sad that that's the only way that a lot of us see that we can get a bag. That's why for me, I feel like my platform is very important because I've been myself. I'm not on here leading with my sexuality and twerking and, fighting and doing all types of crazy stuff. And it's showing that you can be yourself and get a bag. And there's all types of Black women on YouTube, on social media who are just themselves. And they're not out here fighting and going back and forth with folks and being ratchet. And they're able to get a bag. So you can do things and not have to compromise yourself or your morals. But unfortunately, because I don't do that, I'm not going to get pushed. I'm not going to get pushed in the algorithm. I'm not going to be posted on the Shade Room. I'm not going to be posted, by other bigger platforms because I'm not out here acting like that. But I'd rather have my integrity and be able to sleep at night than to be out here having to do a bunch of just stupid shit just to go viral, So yeah, it's sad. Let's see here. DV sent $4.99. He says the BET Awards will never be the same. It was at its peak when all the other award shows were the only way to see your favorite celebrities. Celebs are too accessible. Ooh, that is a really, really good point. I never thought about that. Back when award shows, because remember, that's like all these award shows, they're dwindling in views, right? Nobody's really tuning into the Grammys, BET Awards, MTV Awards, Oscars. People don't tune in as much. But back then, people did because that was your chance to see your favorite artist. I remember even back in school, they'd be like, do you remember everybody? Tonight's the Grammy Awards. Remember, it starts tonight. Our teachers would be telling us, make sure you guys, go watch the Grammys, the Oscars. All the kids would be talking about it. Then the next day we'd have conversations about it at school. Because back then, again, like you said, it was more prestigious. We didn't have all this access to celebrities. So we only saw them at certain times. Now all they do is tweet. Now we know every bit of their lives. So it's like, why would I tune into BET when I can just go watch her act a fool on Instagram or on TikTok? So that's a really, really good point. So thank you for bringing that up. I didn't even think about that. Let's see here. Blunt Talk with Mona B says, hi, you see the Shade Room posted you, love from DC. Y'all keep saying something about the Shade Room. They posted me. Was it a gift of me? What they posted me for? We're going to check that out in the end. What link did they post me on? Because I know they didn't post no story I did. I'm on here now. Unless it's something I'm supposed to click on. Y'all got to tell me what story. Because it's a gift. They posted a gift of me. A meme of me laughing. Okay. Thank you, Shade Room. Okay, yeah, I've been out here for an hour. We got to talk about this situation, honey, with this mother in Chicago. Okay? Make sure I have all my little screens up here. Just a second. It's a lot that went down. So first, let me say this. So when this story first came out, I want to make sure I have everything pulled up here. Okay. So the mother in Chicago, this was a viral news story. Okay. Now, the people who know me, who are real fans, know I have been busy moving, trying to sell my other home, cleaning over there, getting stuff done. We don't post breaking news stories. On my page, we repost news stories, right? So this story was viral of the mother. Basically, all of the mainstream media was saying that she used her 14-year-old son as an assassin, okay? So let's go ahead and start there. We're going to do a full breakdown. Let's go ahead and start there. Let me pull up the news clips here. So we got two major news. Excuse me. We have CBS Chicago and we have WGN, which are two of the biggest news stations in Chicago. So let me share my screen here. Okay. So we're going to start with this one.
That $3 million for the 35-year-old West Pullman mother who, according to prosecutors, got into a fierce verbal argument with a Southside restaurant patron. This was Sunday night while they were waiting in line for food. The situation quickly escalating into a deadly encounter.
During that altercation, the defendant began texting her son.
Cook County prosecutors describing how Carlisha Hood summoned her 14-year-old son, who was out in the parking lot late Sunday night at this Maxwell Street Express restaurant at 116th and South Halsted, and then things started heating up.
The argument between the victim and the defendant turned physical when the victim punched the defendant in the head approximately 3 times.
The store surveillance video capturing the moment the 14-year-old sees his mother getting punched, investigators say, And that's when the teen allegedly pulls a gun from his pocket.
The co-defendant fired a shot at the victim inside of Maxwell, striking the victim in the back. As the victim fled, the co-defendant followed him and fired additional shots. The defendant instructed her son, the co-defendant, to continue to shoot and kill the victim.
The 35-year-old Hood, according to prosecutors, ordering her son to shoot another restaurant patron who thought the initial verbal dispute was funny, but the teen wrestling the gun away from his mother.
Okay, so y'all just watched that, right? So now let's go on to the next one. This is another mainstream big outlet in Chicago.
And a disturbing case unfolds in court. A mother accused of ordering her son to commit murder in a West Pullman restaurant. The mother and son are now charged, both of them. Elizabeth Matthews joins us now with more on this developing story. Elizabeth?
Yeah, not only that, mom, who's accused of giving those shoot-to-kill orders, is now being held on $3 million bail. Parts of that shooting were actually captured on this restaurant's surveillance video, which helped the witnesses identify the suspects to police. So this all happened Sunday night, police tell us, just after 11 o'clock, about 11:05 p.m. 35-year-old Carlisha Hood and her 14-year-old son arrived at the Maxwell Street restaurant on South Halstead at 117th. Hood went in for food. Her son waited in the car. Prosecutors say that's when she began arguing with this man, 32-year-old Jeremy Brown, who was also inside ordering food at the time. Hood began texting her son, who appeared in the doorway, hands in his pockets. A fight became physical between Hood and the victim. The victim was able to punch the woman once. That's when prosecutors say the boy pulled out a gun, fired a single shot to the victim's back, followed him outside, kept firing, striking him fatally twice in the back.
Once outside of the restaurant, while the co-defendant was still shooting at the victim, the defendant instructed her son, the co-defendant, to continue to shoot and kill the victim.
Okay, so let me pause right here. We're going to talk about this lady. Let me come up. Okay, so this lady is not like a random witness. She's not just some, woman at the hot dog stand. She is the assistant state attorney, Ann Rogers. Okay. So this is the story that was told by legitimate news sources. You have the assistant state attorney also reiterating the facts of the case. So for me, when I come on and this is what's being stated as the truth of what happened during the matter, of course, something like that is bothersome to me, one, as a parent and as a mother of boys, because as a parent, it is your job to steer your children away from trouble. So when I first heard the story, the way that it's being told, okay, the initial story, the way that it's being reported and told, to me, it came off like hood rat behavior. You're getting into it with a man. Y'all are arguing back and forth. He ends up, which he was dead wrong, putting hands on her. And then you text your 14-year-old son to basically be your personal assailant. That is crazy. That is hood behavior. That is hood rat behavior. The man, Jeremy, was acting like a hood booger. So that was my first initial thought based off of this story. And I'm not going to apologize for that, because if you're the type of mother who would involve your minor son into your disputes, that's some hood rat shit. So based off of the initial story that came from the state attorney's office, the police, and several credible news stories, that was my response on Instagram to the post. Because for me, it's disgusting to use your child as your personal assailant. Y'all heard the man even say when they got outside, she told the son to also shoot the girlfriend. And the son had to wrestle the gun away from her, and they got back in the car. So that was my initial response to how it was presented. And that was also a lot of people's initial response to what was presented. This wasn't just some random story or some random gossip or just, a viral video. this had news context behind it, and it also had people in legitimate office behind the story. So now, so thank you for the people who actually had enough common decency instead of just cussing me out and going off on me and saying you don't know the whole story. Thank you to people who had enough common sense to actually send me the link, let me know that there was more to the story instead of just cussing me out, blaming my zodiac, calling me arrogant, calling me mean, calling me judgmental when I'm judging it based off of the initial news report. Once the second report came out that she was free of all charges, we posted that the very next day. We posted the story, and then I posted, you know, the correction on my part. Like, well, at this point, if this is what happened, I'm glad she got off because she should not be jailed for something. I don't think that a lot of people were even against the young man defending his mother. That was never even an issue for a lot of folks because a lot of people feel like if your mother is being attacked viciously as that fucking man was attacking that woman, they would do the same thing. Most people's issues were based off of the initial news reporting, which stated that she called her son. She summoned, remember his words, she summoned her son to basically shoot the man, then follow him outside and shoot to kill him. That was what was being reported. That is what people had issues with. It's one thing if he came in there to defend his mom, but the fact that they then followed him outside and finished him off and then potentially almost killed the girlfriend is crazy. But now we find out that the news and the state's attorney, all of these people were lying. So my issue is, first and foremost, these are two totally different scenarios. How did it get this misconstrued? Why are these questions not being asked? How did it go from her using her 14-year-old son as a personal assailant to now they didn't do anything, it was self-defense, the charges had been dropped? That's too big of a discrepancy for me. That is one end of the spectrum versus another. A lot of people are now feeling away because she is trying to sue. So now let's move on. Let's fast forward to where we're at with the case. Let me play this news clip first. This was her coming out of jail. So let me play this one first. Okay.
With breaking news, CBS 2, the only one to capture this moment when a Chicago mother is released from the Cook County jail. Just hours earlier, she and her teenage son faced murder charges for a shooting at a hot dog stand in West Pullman.
Our Charlie DeMar broke this story, and he joins us live from outside the Cook County jail now. Charlie.
And Joe and Erica, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office citing new emerging evidence as part of the reason why they dropped charges in both of these cases. And of course comes as video circulated widely over the weekend showing what led to this shooting. Now, I did have a chance to speak to Carlitha Hood's family. They tell me that they are relieved that she is back home tonight. Carlisha Hood walked free from the Cook County jail Monday and is no longer facing murder charges. Charges were also dropped against her 14-year-old son.
This goes beyond an injustice. Frankly, it's a miscarriage of justice as to what happened to this woman and her son.
CBS 2 legal analyst Irv Miller says charges, let alone murder charges, should have never been approved in this case.
It's a situation where either the charges should have been rejected or at the very minimum, they should have been continued for investigation rather than just, say, okay, murder charge, send them to court.
The charges stem from the fatal shooting of Jeremy Brown inside the Maxwell Street Express in the West Pullman neighborhood. Video posted to social media shows Hood arguing with Brown inside the restaurant. Hood then texted her 14-year-old son, who was waiting outside in the car. Surveillance video shows the teen enter the restaurant and witness Brown hit his mom in the head and face. Prosecutors say that's when the 14-year-old pulled out a gun and shot Brown in the back. He later died.
You have the right to use deadly force to stop that force against another person. And that's exactly what happened in this case. And that's exactly why the state's attorney's office dropped this case today.
Okay. So now let me also show y'all the Instagram. Okay, this is her attorney now. They did a Instagram where they're talking about the case and them wanting to sue. So I'm going to play.
WN. This morning, we filed a 4-count complaint on behalf of Carlisha Hood. This complaint is being filed against the city of Chicago and the defendant officers who were responsible for her arrest. The complaint contains counts of malicious prosecution, false arrest, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. We do not take what happened to Ms. Hood lightly, and we intend to pursue this lawsuit, and there will be additional lawsuits forthcoming. I want to add that Ms. Hood and myself, we recognize that there has been a life loss, and so we are praying for the family of this man who lost his life. I don't want that to be forgotten. We appreciate that lives were affected by this incident, and so we don't want to dilute or diminish that. However, Ms. Hood and her son, we believe were wronged, and we intend to pursue that. Ms. Hood is not going to be answering any direct questions. Myself and Attorney Williams will be answering a limited number of questions. However, once Ms. Hood has time, and keep in mind that Ms. Hood was just released yesterday afternoon, and so she needs time. But once she is able to process and reconnect with her family, she will present herself again, and we will make her available, but not right now. Yes.
Okay, so let me come on the screen. So that was her attorney. So they are talking about suing the city of Chicago. And to me, she also needs to sue the state's attorney and the media out there in Chicago. Now, like I said, in my personal opinion, if the news was correct and that is how it happened, then I stand by my original statement. Because if you are using your son to be your personal assailant, that is hood rat shit, period, point blank. And you do have women out here who treat their son like that is their man. Case in point, Blueface's mother. She's another one who coddles her son, acts like her son is her man, even said her man's penis bigger than her son. So you have women who do that. But in the case of Carlisha, that was not the case. So to me, it's extremely disturbing that it can go from one extreme to another. How did they get it this mixed up, where they literally have her as some vicious, crazed woman who was having her son just pull killings over hot dogs and a punch, to now she was the victim, her son was defending her? That is such a big discrepancy that they definitely need to hold the mainstream media accountable. And what I find funny is that some of y'all will go after Black blogs and, go in on us when we're literally posting what the mainstream, who is supposed to be legitimate sources, are saying. We're reposting what the attorney general, not the attorney general, the assistant state attorney, what she is stating. We're literally reposting what people who are supposed to have the facts to a case are stating. But people always have more smoke for the Black blogs than the white mainstream media, who clearly lied in this situation. Now, I've also noticed a shift in this whole thing. Yeah, everybody was fooled. If you're going off of this story, I've also noticed a shift where a lot of people are upset that she's suing. And they're saying that's not right. It's going to be the people of Chicago who are going to have to fit the bill for this. She needs to just be happy that she's free and that her son's not charged with murder. And for that, I say bullshit. Bullshit. She needs to sue everyone involved because, like I said, that discrepancy is far too much. Nobody on the news said, well, allegedly, this is what we're being told. We're waiting for more information to come out. This is what this woman did. This is what her son did. Stock, lock, and barrel. Her bail was $3 million. The judge told her during the trial that it wasn't self-defense because once her and her son went out there to go chase after him, that was murder. These were all the things that were being reported in the paper when I was doing my research. So why would you not think that people would take it off of what the mainstream media is saying? Of course, we're going to take that as truth. People do that with every story. If it's being reported by the mainstream, they're supposed to be our so-called fact checkers. So for me, she has every right to sue. You got the family of George Floyd, and I'm here in the Twin Cities, and our taxes went the fuck up, let me tell you, okay? The family of George Floyd was able to sue the entire city of Minneapolis on top of the GoFundMe that they got. And George Floyd, keeping it real, he had all types of criminal convictions. And they were able to sue on his behalf. This is a woman, from everything I've seen, she's never been to jail. She's law-abiding. She had the legal right to carry. Her son's an honor student. Her son has done nothing wrong. You know, as far as before this situation of having to kill somebody to protect his mother, and their reputation has been ruined. Why does she not have the right to sue? She has no criminal record. Why are people mad? That's what happens when the police mess up. When they mess up, unfortunately, it's the citizens who also suffer. So guess what? Our taxes were raised. We had to help pay that money for the city of Minneapolis. But it is what it is. Maybe next time you won't put your knee on somebody's neck. Maybe next time the city of Chicago won't blatantly lie and put out a story with so many falsehoods, ruining this woman's reputation. And the sad part is, let's go ahead and look at how many views the original story has versus the updated story. Because it only takes, what's the old saying? A lie will travel around the world twice before the truth can even lace up its sneakers. So let me show y'all here how many views the original story has versus the update. Original story 6 days ago. Mother instructed 14-year-old son to shoot and kill a man at a hot dog stand. Court docs allege. 636,000 views. Trying to find the other one here that had a, okay. Video of man punching woman before son shoots him. 200,000 views. Murder charges against mom and teen son have been dropped. 112K views. Mother told son to shoot man in Southside murder. 320,000 views. Mother in deadly Chicago shooting, attorney details lawsuit. 43,000 views. Chicago charges dropped against mother and son in Chicago market shooting. 18,000 views. So people are still right now believing that this mother is a crazed assailant who basically texts her son to be her personal hitman. Why? Because that story, the original story that was posted by the mainstream media and the state's attorney, was way bigger than the retraction. So she has every right to sue. And I don't feel bad if the people had to pay for it, because we have to pay for it up here with George Floyd. So yeah, no, I agree with her suing, because this case being such a big discrepancy is very, very disturbing. Now let's go ahead and talk about the victim, the so-called victim. And I said this the same day. I feel no ways about this man. He was a hood booger, and he died how he lived, violently. These are two people who didn't know each other from a can of paint. I don't know what they were arguing over, but the fact that he sat there, oh, my grandmama, you better not say another thing, and proceeded to beat on her like a man is disturbing as hell. And the reason why he was so comfortable doing that, you could tell that wasn't his first rodeo. That's how he gets down. He's used to putting hands on women. Because if you can do something like that publicly, when there's cameras, there's other men around, that lets me know how you get down behind closed doors. So I don't need to see statements from his baby mamas and ex-girlfriends. I could tell by his mannerism there in public how he behaves in private. Now, I see a lot of people trying to victimize him, and he was a father of twins. He had beautiful twin girls. That's cute. So as a father of twins, he should have thought to himself, I don't want any man treating my twin daughters how I treat women. Remember, I talked about that last week with the whole Kamora Lee situation and Russell Simmons in the game. How a lot of these men have no problem disrespecting other women, somebody else's daughter, somebody else's mother, somebody else's sister. But when it comes to their own daughters, all of a sudden, hands off. I'll shoot behind my daughter. I'll do this behind my daughter. I'll kill behind my mama. But then they'll turn around and disrespect somebody else's mother. So I feel no ways for him. If he cared about his twins, he wouldn't put himself in that situation. Because let's not forget, his actions caused his death. Him putting hands on that little boy's mother is what caused his death. Now, another thing I'm seeing people saying is that there were men there and none of the men jumped in to protect her as a black woman. My thing is this. I don't understand why black women keep acting shocked. Malcolm X told you years ago that black women are some of the most disrespected women on earth, some of the most least protected women on earth. I know this going into any situation, that if some shit goes down 9 times out of 10, I got to ride for myself. I don't go into situations expecting anybody to jump in and have my back. And a lot of those men are in there. They're not about to put their necks on the line for you as a black woman. Just keeping it real. And we need to wake up and realize that most people, black or white or otherwise, are not going to put their lives at jeopardy to play hero. People aren't doing that no more. Chivalry is dead. This ain't the damn 1970s and 80s where men were putting, coats on mud puddles so you can walk and not get wet. They're not doing that. Nobody's about to put their life at risk because 2 grown adults want to argue and go back and forth at a hot dog stand. I wouldn't expect my brothers to jump into no messy shit like that, or my sons. Because if this man is threatening to beat a woman in public, you don't know if that man got a gun. You don't know if this man is ready to kill the whole restaurant. You got a lot of crazy people running around out here, and a lot of people are not willing to test those waters. So I wasn't shocked at all that nobody jumped in to protect her. Another thing I also want to mention is that I see a lot of people saying that there's a lot of victim blaming going around. I don't think that telling people to use common sense and discernment is necessarily victim blaming. I will say this as a woman, and especially as a black woman, when you have something to lose, you have to be very, very careful with who you engage in. Every argument, every back and forth is not worth it. Because you have a lot of these men out here who do not respect women. That's just what it is. You have some men out here, there's like this weird hatred. And a lot of this stuff stems online. There's this weird hatred for women out here. So for me, from what I've read about her background, she was into the community. She volunteered a lot. She doesn't have a criminal record. She did a lot of stuff with her church and things like that. This argument was not worth it. We have to learn to sometimes set our pride aside. I saw people in the shade room saying things like, I don't fear nobody but God. I don't fear nobody but my maker. She didn't need to stop arguing with him. Who is he for her to stop arguing with? Well, if you have that mentality, you might meet your maker sooner than you like. We have to start having these real conversations. When you have things to lose, everything is not worth an argument. Some people are just not worth engaging with. That man looked dusty. He didn't look like he was about anything, the way he was carrying himself, the way he was talking and carrying on. That is somebody who was yelling and screaming, oh, my grandmama, shut the F up. As soon as he started screaming about his grandmama who's dead and all that, time for me to go. I'm not engaging with the dust bucket. I'm not doing that. I have goals in life. I want to see my kids. I want to be here to see grandchildren. Not engaging. That doesn't make you a punk. That doesn't make you scary. And we need to get out that mentality that somehow that makes you a lesser person walking away. Sometimes walking away saves your life and keeps you out of certain situations like this. So it's not about blaming her, because at the end of the day, she was the victim. He put hands on her. She didn't say anything to him that warranted him beating her the way that he did. But I also had to say that as women, we also have to think twice about who we engage with and who we go back and forth with, because you're not going to be protected out here. Nobody's coming to your defense with a cape. So we have to be very, very smart about the moves that we make. Is it fair? No. Is it right? No. But I don't make the rules. Like Tupac said, I was just birthed into this world. I didn't make the rules. It'd be nice that if I go back and forth with somebody and we argue about some petty shit, we can just both walk away and call it a day. But now you don't know if that person has a gun, if that person might take you out. Let me throw out this hypothetical. Let's say that this man was so crazy that instead of beating her the way that he did, what if he had a gun and just shot her? Then what? Then she becomes another victim of Chicago violence over what? Y'all don't even know each other from a can of paint. This ain't like it was somebody that she knew or had prior dealings with. So I want young people to be smart and understand every argument, every back and forth is not worth it. Again, if he cared about his life, he would have thought about his twins. He would have thought about, well, I don't want a man treating my daughter like that, so I'm not even going to pay this woman no mind. She can argue with herself. But again, his ego and his pride wouldn't let him walk away. And maybe it was a little bit of pride with her too that wouldn't allow her to walk away. Either way, it was two adults arguing about some nonsensical nonsense that got everybody in this unfortunate situation, including this 14-year-old who had to unfortunately take somebody's life to protect his mother, because this grown man put his mother in a situation that she should have never been in. So his family out here, you know, trying to set up GoFundMes and posting pictures of his daughters, I feel no ways. From what I've seen, this man was violent. They said he tried to burn down one of his girlfriend's houses, like her apartment. He burnt that. They had pictures online. He was putting hands on one of his baby's mothers. So the man has all types of issues, all types of criminal offenses, all types of mug shots. So again, he thought fat meat was greasy, and he learned that day. So now let's talk about Nicki. Nicki has come out and she's offering to pay this young man's tuition. So let me share this part of my screen. Give me just a second here. So Nicki says that 14-year-old boy that backed that hammer out when that grown-ass man was punching his mother in the face as if she were a man is a true hero. If he wants to go to college, I'd love to help. It's what any son should have done for their mother. She raised a dope kid and should be so proud. Also, God knew before she knew that she'd be attacked that day and made sure they had protection on deck. God is good. So that is what Nicki says. She's going to pay for his college tuition. From what I heard, the mother is accepting of that. But I will also say this, because you do have people who are kind of glamorizing it. I don't envy that young man's situation. That's still going to be a lot of things that he's going to have to deal with traumatically, especially being that this young man went from a simple honor student, just doing the right thing, living his life on the right track, and then to know that he took a person's life, it still weighs heavy on you, regardless of the circumstances. So this is not, to me, a situation to be glamorized. I think the situation is extremely unfortunate, but I'm glad that she's willing to pay for his tuition. I know she's done that for other people in the past. But while everybody's talking about tuition and, you know, lawsuits and money, and that's fine and dandy, I really want this family to get up out of Chicago. I don't hear anybody talking about that. because now that Nicki's star power is involved, that's going to make them even more of a target. That man's family, to me, they're batshit crazy. Everything, even the females in this man's family, they just talk. They're just violent, vulgar. And we know how people get down in Chicago. Revenge. You take one of mine out, even though mine was wrong, and we don't want to acknowledge that he was wrong and that he caused his death, we're still going to come after you because just on GP. The man came off like a gangbanger. All the females, the sisters, they just come off like they're just a bunch of gangbangers. So I really want the family to, I don't know if they need to go into hiding, but they need to get up out of Chicago. Because I don't feel like this situation is going to die down as quick as they think it will. And because this family that's attached to this man, Jeremy Brown, all I get is hood booger vibes. The whole family. The pictures that they were posting, his videos on Facebook, he's confronting people over money. He's trying to beat somebody's ass over $10. Like everything about him and his family is just hood boogerish. So I think at this point, the mother, the son, they need to move out of Chicago. I'm not saying they need to leave the state of Illinois. Maybe go to Oakland or, go to Peoria, but they need to move up out of Chicago. Because I feel like that man's family, they're feeling away. One, he's dead, and that is their family member, right? But now this young man is getting all this fame and attention from social media, from celebrities. That alone breeds jealousy in Chicago. Look how many drill rappers, as soon as they get the popping and, they're going viral on YouTube, they're getting shot and killed. So I hope while everybody's talking about all this stuff, they said they doxed her address. Oh, wow. Yeah, if they have her address, she needs to move. She needs to move. And the city of Chicago should be paying to put her up in a hotel, penthouse, until they can figure out a place to go. They need to put them in witness protection. You can't spin this type of dramatic story and lie and then just leave her to figure it out and pick up the pieces. The lawsuit money is not coming next week. Lawsuits take time to get through the courts and everything else. In the meantime, the state's attorney, since she's the one reading the charges with such certainty, they need to put them into some type of witness protection. Her lawyer, outside of just trying to, sue and get, because he gets a cut, he needs to start putting things in place. Kim Fox, whoever's in charge, they need to put that family in hiding. Because the whole thing is very disturbing. There's a GoFundMe. Hold on, I'm trying to read these comments. Carlicia's GoFundMe has raised over $12K to help with temporary relocation. That's great. $12K and a whole lot. That's great. The city of Chicago, state's attorney, those people need to cover that. Outside, she shouldn't have to go to a GoFundMe. That's nice that people are donating, but the people who besmirch her name, they need to fix that situation. And the only way they're going to be able to fix it is to get her moved out of Chicago. They need to have movers at her house, moving out her furniture, everything they own, and taking that family to a secure location. Because now that she's doxxed and her address is on the internet, anybody could pull up and hurt them. Because again, this is the same city that literally kills people for clout. No shade. I'm just telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is the same city that, the home of King Von, the silent assassin, and all that goofy shit. So this whole situation is just, it's mind-blowing that it's this dramatic of a difference in the story. That she went from being this crazed mother who's using her son as an assailant to now them saying, well, they did nothing wrong. All charges have been dropped. That's it. Oh, no, it doesn't end there. okay, that's great that the charges have been dropped. But yeah, lawsuits definitely file. But even before the lawsuits, they need to be moved out of that situation. Before the tuitions, because college is a long time from now. He's only 14. It's in a few years. They need to be moved up out that situation. She shouldn't be in Chicago doing news presses and things like that. She's obviously scared. And like I said, if you go on Facebook and you see the family that man comes from, they're definitely about that life. The fact that he could beat a woman that he did not know in public, in front of other men, in front of cameras and other witnesses, lets me know his mentality and his family's mentality. Another person that also needs to be thanked, I'm noticing nobody's mentioning this, the person who filmed. You know, so many times we complain about, oh, people always pulling out their cell phone and recording. Sometimes that's all you can do in those situations. Imagine if that person who was filming did not get that other angle or did not get her on camera saying, go back to the car. She'd still be sitting in jail right now, charged. That's the only thing that helped her, is that video footage. So thank goodness the person, granted, they was probably just filming because it's drama to post on the internet. You know, they're not thinking it's going to go to this extent where somebody's going to be killed. But can we also give that bootleg videographer their props? I hope they get a cut of the money too. Don't just sue and make it about yourself. That video is what really helped exonerate them. I'm not saying they need half, but at least give them, 5%, 5 to 10% of the lawsuit, because that video is really what helped. And thank goodness somebody just decided to film and capture all of that. Because from what people told me, supposedly all of the information that the state's attorney got, that the police got, came from the man's girlfriend. And my thing is, of course, she's going to say what she wants to say, but why was her story just taken as the gospel? Why was nobody else interviewed? How about the people who were running the hot dog thing? Did they not get interviewed? Were they not able to state what caused it, what really happened? Why was it just the girlfriend's word for everything? And that's really frightening. That's very frightening to know that you can be innocent and be completely railroaded by the news media, by the state's attorney, by the police, by the people who are supposed to seek fair justice. So again, I'm just happy that that other footage was there. And that the person who recorded, they definitely deserve something, because that's what really helped her. But yeah, that whole situation is just, it's sad. It's disturbing. I feel so bad that he was even put into that situation as a child. And thank goodness he was a good shot. Because me at 14, I probably would have, unfortunately shot innocent bystanders. I mean, the fact that he was that good of a shot lets me know that she's been working with him and training him. Because nobody else was shot, just Jeremy. But it's just sad that he had to be put in that situation. So I want people to just really think about certain things when you go out. I remember I used to tell my little nephew, my ex-husband's nephew on my ex-husband's side, when they were younger, when you see fights going on in the hood, y'all need to walk away. Y'all done seen a million fights on YouTube. Y'all done seen a million fights here and there. There's nothing else to really watch. Everybody wants to be, ooh. And I remember a few years later, there was a big fight at the park. And of course, all the kids are around, they're watching it. And somebody ends up pulling out a gun, they start shooting. And a little girl was shot in her head and she lost her life. So it's just certain energy that you just don't need to be around. So again, when things start escalating and things are getting worse, it's okay to walk away. Don't let anybody make you feel like you a punk or, you don't want to see drama. And it's okay to walk away. The ones who are saying, you should just sit there and involve yourself and go back and forth. And I just don't see anything wrong with just saying, you know what, I'm not about to argue with this person. I'm out. When you have things going for yourself, you're not going to engage. And there's just certain people, honestly, there's been certain things. I might go to the hood to go, because you know, sometimes you gotta go to like the hood beauty supply store to get certain things. And if I pull up and all I'm seeing is, you know, crackhead here, loudmouth here, you know, just a bunch of just weird energy, I'm gonna go to the next spot. I'm not even getting out the car, let alone arguing. I don't owe anybody an explanation. If I pull up on something, it don't feel right, it don't look right, I'm out. I'm not about to argue with somebody till the death. Fuck that. I got things to live for. So don't allow social media to like make you, you know, feel ashamed or, you know, I don't think it's victim blaming. It's just called using common sense. Everything doesn't need to be an argument. Everything don't have to be back and forth. I'm telling y'all, let me not feel right with, yeah, gas stations too, honey. Who said that? Lamari. I've done that too. Oh, I pulled in at a gas station over south. Oh, shit, there's a lot of low vibrational people around here. Next gas station. It is what it is. I will pull off on a gas station quick if all I'm feeling and seeing is foolishness. And that's okay. We have the right to do that. Because there's been situations where I have pulled off from a gas station and literally hit the corner and all you hear is pop, 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 pop. And I had my baby in the car. And the gas station was shot the fuck up. But when I seen all the hood booger homeboys, that there's about to be some shit going down, I'm out. It's too many of y'all conjugating. I feel like I feel a weird energy. Him, you're up. Y'all don't like each other? Okay, next. And literally pulled out, pop, 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 pop. So I don't play that stuff. So for me personally, as soon as he was arguing about whatever the fuck he wanted to argue about, TT would have been out. We'd have been eating top ramen that night. But that's just me. You know, everybody's not, you know, some people will go back and forth. That's just me. What I'm saying is that it is okay to walk away from a situation. It's okay to pull up to a gas station and be like, yeah, it's too many, I know y'all ain't shit. I'm out. What's up, T? Nothing. Bye. Okay, so don't ever let nobody make you feel away. Because you got one life to live. And the bullet has no name on it. So, yeah, man. It'd have been oodles and noodles that night. You know, but yeah, I feel the whole situation is just really unfortunate. But I feel really bad for that woman. But I want to just come on here and break it down and, you know, just speak on my behalf. Because again, I'm not doing a deep dive on an Instagram post. I'm reading a news story like we do any other news story, and I'm commenting on it. I didn't run to go make a YouTube video. No, I waited to see how this is going to play out. You know? So I'm glad that the truth is out. I'm glad that somebody was able to capture that, because had they not captured it, trust and believe she'd probably still be in there, because it'd be her word against the ratchet girlfriend's word. So the whole situation is really unfortunate. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats here. Oh, it's already, what time is it? 7 o'clock. Oh my God. How long I've been? Oh, an hour and 38 minutes. I got to get ready to go. Let's see here. Brandy Harper says, T, I'm on my way to work. As we speak, finally get to see you live. I love you. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, sis. Paladine Cruz and 5 says she needs to sue to make an example. If it was enough to turn me pro-Black woman fanatic against her, then you know something is definitely wrong. Exactly. Yeah, that news coverage, she definitely deserves to sue. I don't care if every citizen in Chicago has to put into the lawsuit bucket. Hey, welcome to our world here in the Twin Cities, okay? We all had to help pay for George Floyd's lawsuit. But yeah, that for it to be such a drastic change is very evil. Very evil. So, and like I said, that news, it's at 636,000 views, but her being found, not guilty and being let out of jail, it's only at under 100,000 views. So the truth is not even going viral as much as the lie. And that's the part why she really needs to sue. Ellen says, the reality is the mainstream media is full of propaganda and they will demonize Black women to push a false narrative. Thank God for that video. Amen. Definitely. Thank you for the super chat. Kimmy says, I saw she was sending money to dads on Father's Day, showing love to the dads, which was the same day she was attacked by the man. Oh my gosh. So that was on Father's Day that happened? Wow. So imagine you're a father of twins and then you die foolishly on Father's Day because you want to argue with a stranger and go back and forth and beat on a woman. You can't make up the shit. You can't make it up. The irony of that. So he was killed on Father's Day. Instead of thinking to myself, let me not go back and forth with her because I want to go see my twins on Father's Day. But again, he has 4 kids. Not shocked. Not shocked at all. Ronafil says the girlfriend / witness was encouraging him. His cousin outed her. Dude tried to burn down her house and his daughter's home. She shared the text messages that the girlfriend sent. Wow. Okay, so that was the one. So that was the girlfriend's house that had all the fire in it. I thought it was another ex-girlfriend. Wow. So this dude is a piece of work, but I already knew he was just from the way he was carrying himself publicly. You could tell he wasn't about shit. They just had his funeral. So they found the $10,000 to bury him because I see they kept shutting down his GoFundMe. That's a shame. Miss B says she has losses. Everyone, especially the state, has to pay. The first news report you showed stated its source. Love you, sis. Well wishes to everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Mary Jane says, I can tell you from someone who lived in Chicago, the best thing to do in any situation is simply walk away. It's not worth your life. Yeah. And it's getting like that everywhere in a lot of cities. Chicago, Philly, Minneapolis, LA, Miami. In a lot of cities, it's not worth it. It's so many people who end up getting into these little altercations and they end up dead behind it, But again, I feel no ways about him because like I said earlier, he died how he lived, violently. So karma's real. His just came instantaneously. Alina Walker says, the way I want to throw hands with YouTube for not notifying me that you went live. Love you, T. Love you too. YouTube be bugging. You got to follow me on the social media so that way you get the alerts for everything. Serena Senfai says, sometimes I feel really bad about being non-confrontational, but hearing you talk about discernment makes me feel better. Yeah. And again, it's not about people walking over you. I'm not saying that, it's different if it's like, at work in a work setting and you feel like, this chick is doing too much and she's trying to, act like she's the boss when y'all are on the same pay grade. And, it's okay to stand up for yourself, right? So never think that you have to allow people to walk over you or disrespect you. Okay, y'all reminding me about what I need to talk about. Thank you. But when it comes to things on the street, especially with strangers, most likely your coworker is not going to pull out a gun and shoot you. Most likely your coworker is not going to beat your ass in the middle of the office. Why? Because she needs her job. She got bills to pay, right? But somebody on the street that you don't know from a can of paint, you never know if that person is a ticking time bomb. You just never know. So in those situations, it's more than okay to just walk away. And I'm not saying walking away will save you every single time, because you have some lunatics out here where you can walk away and they might still shoot. But it does lessen the situation. When somebody's not willing to engage and the person sees that they're not able to get a rise out of you, then usually 9 times out of 10, they just end up leaving you alone because they're not getting the reaction that they wanted. So just always think about that. But thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. Boss Trizzy sent 10, says, walking away from a situation doesn't make you a punk. It makes you strong because you're able to fight your own pride and ego by not reacting in a negative way. We have to change the narrative. Thank you. That was perfectly stated. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have to do that. I mean, when I saw people talking about, I'm not scared to meet my maker in the shade room, it's like, what? Do you not have anything else to live for? Like, I'm not scared to, but I'm not about to race and chase towards death. So, yeah, I think that. Let's see here. Nancy sent 20, says, T, I wrote a whole message about the woman in the fast food place and YT wouldn't let me post it. I had a positive message. Tell YT to stop taking your money from you, T. Thank you. Stay blessed. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. I'm glad that message came through. Norva says, would you have hurt the guy to at least say, hey, brother, cut it out while recording? Would you have hurt the guy to at least... Oh, would it have hurt the guy who was recording to say, cut it out? No, a lot of people, and see, that's the thing. Y'all got to understand, like, y'all have, and I don't know if it's a social media thing, but y'all have it conditioned in your minds that people are supposed to act a certain way. Y'all try to put y'all's morality on people in the real world that y'all don't know from a can of paint. That's what I was saying in the Sukihana video. The way you carry yourself. It would be a great world, right? If I could just walk around, topless, just doing what I wanted to do, just wearing whatever, and no one should touch me. No one should do anything to me. And in a perfect world, that would be great. That would be a blessing. But guess what? We don't live in a perfect world. So even though I would never attack somebody or put hands on somebody for just simply wearing what they're wearing or simply doing what they're doing, I can't put my moral compass onto somebody I don't know from a can of paint. So while it'd be nice for that man recording to say, hey, brother, don't argue with her, leave her alone, he didn't. Everybody's not going to have the same moral compass. And that's what people need to understand. Every man is not going to treat you the same just because, you're a woman and, you should have been taught by your mother and your father to treat women better. Some of these men were not taught. So I'm not going to assume that you have a moral compass. And if you're acting like that, I'm going to assume that you're crazy as fuck and that you might attack me for even jumping in, trying to, calm the situation down. So I think we need to understand that we can't keep putting the way we see things, our moral compasses, on people that we don't know from a can of paint. Because everybody does not have a moral compass. So while some women can walk around in itty bitty, bikinis and a thong, and, you have some men who know not to touch a woman unless you're invited to touch a woman and who know how to act like men, you have others who are just batshit crazy and will literally try and digitally rape you. Or are you? Sorry, YouTube. So, you know what I mean? You have to go into every situation understanding that not everybody's going to have your best interest at heart. Not everybody's intentions are pure. So I'm not going to put myself in a situation and hope that men step up and have my back and hope that men don't, try and put me in an unfortunate situation. I'm just not going to do it. So I think we have to understand that. Somebody said the recorder was a woman. Well, I don't know. I thought it was a man that had recorded. But I mean, even if it was a woman, think about it. As a woman, are you going to want to involve yourself with this crazy man who's already screaming that he's ready to punch out this woman? He might turn around and punch me out too. Most people nowadays are not going to get involved in beefs. They're just not. Everybody wants to go back home to their families. They're just not. I'm not jumping in a fight and saying anything to a bunch of strangers. I'm just not doing it. That's just me keeping it real. If I see a bunch of people out there, fighting and acting a fool, I might holler for top flight security. I have no security badge. Nothing I can do. I'm not about to jump in the middle of a fight with men or women. I'm not doing that. So we got to understand everybody's not going to, jump into your battles. You have to understand that. That's why I said the best thing is to not even escalate and keep going back and forth with people. That's your best bet. Yeah, exactly, Nia. She said she's calling the police. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of people are not going to jump, especially in Chicago. Come on now. A lot of people are not going to jump into that. Somebody said they're not trying to break a nail or lose a wig. Nicki Knows Better says Uber Eats and curbside and remote work have been a blessing. Yeah, this is the point where you don't even want to go out at this point. It's so crazy out here. Let's see here. Joshua Grace at 1999 says, T, just showing you love. I passed my work exam and got promoted today. Been watching you since Morse code. Not the Morse code. Thank you all for what you do. You are so welcome and congratulations. That is awesome. I always like to hear good news. So that is awesome. Ain't nothing like a good work promotion. And he passed his exam. Let's see here. Ronald Harvey says, I have no problem with the young man, with what the young man had to do to protect his mom. I would have done the same thing. He went in there for a hot dog and left with wings. I know that's right. He left with wings like that Red Bull commercial. Got your wings? Yeah, I feel no ways about this Jeremy man. If you really look into his background and the way he behaved, the way he acted on social media, the way he treated people, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So thank you, Ronald. So before I leave, it's already been 2 hours. This stream has gone by so quick. Update on Erica Banks. Let's talk about that real quick. So if y'all don't know, Erica Banks has left 1501. Now she's currently on Love and Hip Hop. I'm still trying to decide how I feel about her. Them big ass baby hairs with the crazy lashes, that's a bit much, sis. I'm trying to get a vibe for her. You can tell her music career has not gone the way she's wanted it. So now she's on Love and Hip Hop. So maybe that will get her more exposure. But somebody said she got adult hairs. Yeah, them wigs are very interesting. I don't know who's styling her hair, but them baby hairs be thick and long. They be like down to her eyebrow. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Okay, an affirmative action. Yes. Okay. So let me share my screen. She dropped the song where she's accusing Carl Crawford, whose name I cannot pronounce, of stealing from her, saying that they owe her money, he's greedy. So basically the same thing that Meg was saying a few years ago. Who the fuck did I think they would? Okay, I can't play. She's rapping. Let me see if I can find her lyrics. Okay, she says in a new song, they owe me money, they greedy. Then she followed up by saying she's no longer with them. Y'all will have to look up her lyrics, but somebody ends up saying, I think she needs a new label. 1501 don't know what they doing. The girl is hard. 1501 is for TikTok kids. Lord, hope she drops them and better come up. And so she says, I'm not with them anymore. So she has dropped 1501. So it looks like Carl's record label is not popping as much as it once was and what he thought it was going to be. And so the fact that she's saying that they owe her money and that she's not getting her money from him is crazy. And she can spit. Like, she actually can rap. I think she's a good rapper. They were trying to make her the next Meg Thee Stallion, and I didn't like that. Like, Meg is Meg, Erica Banks is Erica Banks. So I didn't like that at all. That's what they were trying to go for, but it looks like she's left them. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Love and Hip Hop ends up helping her and she becomes more popping of an artist, because like I said, she actually can rap. So I'm trying to now this is the situation. Spoke out. He didn't even drink with Jackie and listen to what he had today.
Given the circumstance, I want to clarify certain facts that have not been reported or published. Please understand that due to privacy laws and out of respect for all, there will never be mention of specific now or any of my cases. As many of firsthand, my reputation in Miami for safety exemplary. I'm not willing without exception on any patient if my preoperative protocols or medical clearance are not fully met. That means another physician of the patient's choosing examines the patient, verifies that patient's fitness for surgery in conjunction with other tests and labs that I request. This is a standard protocol to ensure all aspects of a patient's health are medically considered. Since graduating from my plastic surgery residency at Brown University, I've operated on 2,000 patients, which is roughly 6,000 hours in the operating. Every procedure is always performed to the highest medical standard, and our safety protocols are diligently observed by my entire team. The state of Florida is especially strict when it comes to any issues involving medical treatment.
I think my internet went out. Oh, oh my God. Can y'all hear me? It was sounding like a robot. Y'all can hear me now? Oh my gosh. What the hell is going on? It booted me off and then it said that the stream wasn't working. Okay, so I would sound like a robot. He would sound like a robot too? Okay. I swear these live streams. Okay, let me start it over. We're gonna listen to Dr. Zach. Okay, let me start it over. All I seen was like robot emojis. Okay, hold on.
Back. Yes, my name has been in the tabloid media and understandably sensationalized given the circumstances. I want to clarify certain facts that have not been reported
Okay, can y'all see me? Like, it kicked me off. It completely kicked me off. I don't even know if I'm live. I can't see anything.